trapped in the Libyan port city of Misrata. It's been under heavy bombardment by pro-Gaddafi forces since the end of February. Hundreds have been killed and many others seriously wounded. Some injured civilians have managed to get out and have been treated in the eastern city of Benghazi. From there, our correspondent Lybia has sent this report.
Street fighting in Misrata. These are the latest pictures of the battle for the city. Rebels opened fire, then ducking for cover. With or without NATO's help, they are trying desperately to drive out Colonel Gaddafi's forces. The plight of this besieged city now provoking growing international concern.
I'm extremely worried about the situation there. I very much hope that the security situation will allow us to get into Misrata. No one has any sense of the depth and scale of what is happening there.
2 months into this conflict, the needs are immense in rebel-held areas. Doctors in the de facto capital, Benghazi, are now experts in gunshot wounds. But they aren't equipped for war. In the Al-Hawari hospital, they have just one ventilator.
They've had so many casualties to deal with here in recent weeks that they're running short of the basics, like antibiotics. And there's a critical lack of 54 foreign nurses fled from this hospital when the conflict began. Staff here say if they have another large wave of casualties, they don't know how they'll cope.
Medical needs are only half the battle. The rebel economy needs life support. This was the queue for monthly salaries at one Benghazi bank. Some had been waiting for 5 days. Rebel leaders insist if foreign aid is given, it won't be spent on weapons.
I'm going to ask, as a Minister of the Finance and Oil, for donation, and I'm going to use that for if we're going to do that, we're going to do it with Libyan money, so you don't have to worry about that, or that doesn't have to worry about that.
But even if the world mobilises to help Misrata, it won't be easy to get aid in or people out. This amateur video is said to show an attack on a dairy factory, but Colonel Gaddafi's recent targets include the port. Orla Gearan, BBC News, Benghazi.
So, as we've been hearing, residents in Misrata have been under heavy bombardment for more than a month. So why is it so difficult to get aid in, and where is the fighting focused? Adam Minoff is here. Adam.
For 53 days, the embattled and shrinking population of Misrata has been holding out against Colonel Gaddafi. Poorly armed, with supplies of food and ammunition running out, the people of Misrata are under siege. Misrata, under intense fire again today, is the only town in western Libya which is continuing to offer resistance. The city has a history of opposition to Colonel Gaddafi. An attempted coup against him in 1975 was led by officers from Misrata. It failed, they were executed. Thousands have fled Misrata, but those who remain are now confined to just a third of the city. Accurate information is impossible to come by, but as many as 1,000 people said have been killed in the past 2 months, many of them civilians. The only way in or out is by sea to the port. Ships approaching the coast run the risk of coming under fire from Gaddafi forces on land. At least 5,000 people are trying to escape, but it's proving difficult to get aid in and evacuees out. The fiercest fighting in Misrata is taking place along one road, that runs through the centre of the city. Britain says it will do what it can to evacuate people from the international organization for migration to take these 5,000 out of Misrata, along the coast to Alexandria, and then hopefully back to their homes and their cultures. But time is running out for evacuees and the residents of Misrata. Many in the city fear their capacity to resist is being drained away. The UN has again called for an immediate ceasefire and a promise to get humanitarian aid to where it's needed. George. Thank you. The UK's 9th largest building society, Norwich and Peterborough,